I welcome you all today, the 31st day of October. This day is always the day we remember Oba Uwaifiokun. He was an Oba before the reign of Oba Uwaifiokun. He died an Oba as well, although he was assassinated. But anyways, today as we remember Oba Uwaifiokun, so I'm going to talk about a little story in regard this episode that happened before the reign of Oba Uwaifiokun the first. So before I go, let me say this little piece. Oba Uwaifiokun, about before I go further, I would like to say this little piece, that it is written, whatever is of Caesar must be given to Caesar, and whatever is of God must be given to God. In this same vein, I tell you today, truthfully, that whatever is of Caesar and Caesar belongs to God. So this truth is forbidden unto any man and unto you to deny, because when you were born, you were placed under an oath never to deny God, the Creator. Because if you deny or lie against the truth that the Almighty God is not the creator of everything and every being, then you have transgressed, and your sins will never be forgiven in this life. This truth you were told not by man nor by me, but it was by the voices that created it, you, that when you could see, when you could hear, and when you could talk, and when you could think for yourself, and when you had compared the man against the universe, the voice had told you, there is more than the man. There is the Creator that created the universe, and he owns everything. Today I want to tell you, God is supreme. God will be God forever. Amen. My forebear, they stood for what they believed was right, and they had fought for this land with their last blood. They had hated that any man would make them feel like a stranger in their own land. Their pride was their land. Their pride was Igodomigodo, the land of their origin. This land they are choosing as an inheritance for their children. This land they are called Igodomigodo. So I want to beg everyone today, let no one say that in this story that I tell you today, that I have been biased, or that I have bear false witness against my neighbor, or that I have bear false witness against my friends, or that I have bear false witness against my very own people, or that I maybe have bear false witness against my enemies. But let me tell you one thing that can set you free. If you deny your souls of corruption, if your soul is free from corruption, then you are free. This is how to be free. In this narrative of Oba Uwaifiokun, today that I say, all the stories that you have heard in the past about this particular event, about this same story about Uwaifiokun, they are all stories and narrative from the many passengers that have found themselves at one point inside this rocky boat of the past. And also not excluded from this story that I am narrating today about Uwaifiokun are the members of the many other boats that were present and had witnessed this event of the past. We are not alone. You are not alone. No matter how hard it seems, no matter how tough it seems, you are not alone. We are not alone. If I am one of these passengers, I am going to tell my story from the angle that I stand and from this angle that I have seen all this event. From this angle that I see it. This is my right, and I have the right to my own views and also to share them. But I tell you today that because you would not agree with me in some areas or share same view with some of my opinion in this story, it would not compulsorily have to mean that I am wrong or that I have told a lie and that you can tell the truth. But I shall implore you instead to think. Think about it very deeply. Think about it. That the truth is strong and it is bitter when served cold sometimes to swallow. But in any ways, it shall be the truth and it will remain the truth, no matter how bad we feel or try to compromise it. Oba Uwaifiokun, the tale of a traitor. The Oba that became smaller than a slave in the eyes of his own people and in the little land of Edo. That land that was called Oredu. It is a space of land that was carved out for the people that lived in Edo. It was separated by the moat. Iwi was at the other side. If you all remember, was it Agboridi? I think Agboridi was at Iwi, but let us not go to those stories now. Let us talk about Oba Uwaifiokun today. The story of a traitor. That Oba that became smaller than a slave in the eyes of his own people. Oba Uwaifiokun, the Oba none of his people cares to know or hear his own side of the story. But as long as Oba Uwaifiokun is written in our history, as of the Igodo people, we would never forget him. We would never forget Oba Uwaifiokun. Oba Uwaifiokun is not Edo. Oba Uwaifiokun never lived in a land that was called Edo. Oba Uwaifiokun was never addressed as Omo N'oba. Needless was he addressed as Ukwu Akpolokpolo. Oba Uwaifiokun was only addressed as Omo or Omono. Our heritage and our history are written on the rocks, and there shall be no one man again that is born of a woman that shall stop us, the Igodo, from telling our story from the way we see it. That is why I will not change for anyone, not for a king, for I am one also, nor for a pauper, of which are very many in the land today. I know now your questions are, so who is Oba Uwaifiokun? Where is Oba Uwaifiokun's land? This is how our story begins of Oba Uwaifiokun, the tale of a traitor. Long time ago, in the years before Edo was born, in the lost land of Igodomigodo, was a chapter that was to be a closed chapter forever. This was an event that people will quickly want to forget or choose not to talk about because of he that was and the consequences on it he had said would be fair. This was how this event had fell into a closed chapter, as the people would say when they were confronted in regard to this vil betrayal of a people and a great homely Oba in Oba Uwaifiokun back in the days of Oba Ewaye the First. As you all will agree with me that over time things are bound to change. It is a supposed law of nature, I think. But except for these people and their land, Edo, things has never really changed, notably, since the days it fell into the hands of the traitor, Edo. I will tell this parable. Maybe you will understand someday. One day, a man from this land, Edo, had built a very nice and beautiful house. So he locked it up and left to go and fetch for his friends abroad, that they might come and see his beautiful house. They would be amazed when they would see it, he had thought in his mind. So he is going to be a proud guy, At least he wants to be proud of his achievements, that he could also earn respect that was due him from his friends. So he left abroad to go and fetch his friends. But when he will return to his beautiful house, it was covered in dust and in mud, to his shame. But that was the least he will get. When he went in, thieves had also broken in to steal, and his haters were lurking about to set him and his friends and his beautiful house ablaze. All because he had came from this land that was named after a betrayed episode. I pray that you shall understand my parable someday. The people then in the days had little idea what they had done. Little did they knew that the fate of the land and the many, many children to come, children unborn, will lie in this event. This said event that was laid on a closed chapter. And in this story I tell you today, Oba Uwaifiokun, the tale of a traitor. For if now as a people, our faith are intertwined to one ill event, an evil conspiracy of many, many years ago, what must we do? Must we live like them before us and put it on a closed chapter? Or should we open up this closed chapter this once and walk through it for ourselves and for the sake of the children and the children that are yet unborn? I want men to tell me yes. I want men to rise like men, that we should advance. We should not retreat now and never. We should move through, we should move forward, and we should not leave it for the generations that might not be able to find out that reason why. That reason why they would farm for 20 years. Yet they cannot gather enough to last a year without farming, without going back to bend their back. Needless to take for export, that they might make more gains. We will not leave it for that generation that will ask why. What is going on? Why they will go to school and acquire the best of results, but yet they never get the best of jobs. We cannot leave it now today. If we know, we cannot leave it for the generation that might not be able to find out why. Why they will build and build, yet in their eyes, all they had built are covered in dust and in mud. Why they will build and thieves will break in and rob them of their belongings. Why their brothers will hide about in the bushes, in the nooks and in the cranny, in the corners, in the hidden places, to set them ablaze, just because they want to be happy. Why? Why do women enjoy prostitution for profession? Why do the men, instead of asking for a job, they beg for money? Why? Why your brother is the one that lock about to kill you? Why is it that all effort to progress this land always end in frustration and in shame? Why? Why? And the most painful part of it all now is, why a land so vast? A land before Edo was born, it was so vast, it was so big, it was greatly populated with people. It was the eye of the world. It was called Igodomigodo. It was vast and with great population of people. People that were uniquely united. But now they are so small, and in their smaller population, they are still very, very divided. Why the head chiefs are the ones selling away the people's land and causing destabilization, chaos, hate, and anarchy. Today I ask, what have we got left now that we are still fighting for, and to even make us kill ourselves this way. Why? What has happened to our culture as a people to make us travel this path and this far? Why am I talking now from a distance that is very far, far away from home? Have you asked yourself why? If I ever return back home, will my children return? We must ask questions that might determine a good fate for us all, and for the generations that are yet unborn. We must ask questions now. We must ask questions, mostly all of us, that is, from this aborigine and from these people that are getting lost at will. These people from the land called Igodomigodo, we are gradually fading away and going into extinction. We are emigrating. We are going away. We are running far, far away from home. It all started from that day that a betrayal of such had occurred and the people had accepted. These people, for several years, they never had an Oba. So they were in search. They were in agony, in search, in great search for an Oba. And when they got one, they slayed this one in a traitor's act. And to further make matter worse, they went to tag him a traitor. They will never make sense to me. They will never make sense to me. This land was never called Ibinu in the days before Edo was born. You see this land? It was never called Ibinu. Even though they tried to say some people came from somewhere and they had called that land Ibinu. Ibinu was never in the name of that land. Never was that land called Ibinu. Ibinu is a diminutive connotation. It was an adjective to denote the character. It was to denote the character. The character, a way of some sect of people whose manners were of hostility in the land of Igodomigodo. So Ibinu was for a people, was a reference to the character, the behavior of a people. It was not a name. It was not like a name of a land. It was a people who lived in so and so area or location. They are very hostile people. And Edo or Ore Oredo was a name given to a landscape that was demarcated with some natural features like the river Igoba and the moat. The moat was man-made. This was to settle, it was to settle an area that was called Edo. I remember when I was a child, we used to live at Eke. Eke used to be just a little after Goreti Junction. You see, because my grandma, she used to have a house at Isiemero. My grandpa used to have a house. My grandpa's house, not used to, my grandmom's house was at Isiemero, and my grandpa was at Ogbelaka. You see, when we come from the other side into this side, my grandma used to call us the people. She used to address us as the people from Iyekiya. That is the people that live after the moat. So this side was called Edo, but the other side was called Iyekiya. So these are things that will never go away. These are truth. No one will ever take away from us. And the name Benin was a name given to this whole land by the Portuguese. Because the Portuguese had once lived in this land. Because they lived there. So they gave it a name. Benin is the Portuguese name for the land because they once lived there. Not by conquest. The Portuguese had lived in that land. They had homes, they had farms, they had domestic animals, they did business. The Portuguese once lived there in this land called Igodomigodo. So the Portuguese gave that name Benin. All of a sudden, you know what they can do? They carry the name. Because Baba na Baba, everybody wants to be Baba. They carry the name and they put it upon their head. And they push themselves to one corner and call themselves Benin. At the end of the day, these people totally destroyed the history. They totally destroyed the history. Edo, the name Edo came after Oba Uwaifiokun had passed on. They had a name before Oba Uwaifiokun passed on. The name Edo came after Oba Uwaifiokun had passed on. Now they took the name. Then when the Portuguese came, boof, they still carried the name. The Portuguese called Benin. They had named this land Benin because they lived there, that they might be able to ascertain their location. So they call it Benin. Benin, in its words, it's the Portuguese. For hundreds of years, the Portuguese had lived in this land. For hundreds of years. That was why the Portuguese, they were able to sell their own part of the land to the British when they came. The Portuguese, before the British came, the people of Igodomigodo, they had spoken Portuguese. They had sent people, some of the Aborigine, to Europe. So today I'm not amazed that if you still go to Portugal, you still find out that the Portuguese, their color is mainly like that of a black man. Well, I would like to stop here today in this history. It's 30 minutes now, 30 and so. Well, some other time we'll talk about this story. I hope you enjoyed this story. God bless you. And do not forget, today we remember Oba Uwaifiokun, the homely. He was the homely, the great one, a great one of us. We will never forget him because he was not Edo, he was Igodo, from the land of Igodomigodo. Thank you. My name is T, and we always remain Mr. Bright Owenosagi. God bless you all.